Howdy, howdy, howdy. How you doing, cowpokes? Welcome to Dogwoods Dustbowls. My name is Rachel. I am your DM for this cowboy-flavored four-shot. And really quickly at the top, I am going to go around and have everyone say hello, give just a short description of who you are, like a one sentence, and then we're going to get into it. No characters. It's going to be a surprise. Let's start with Lisa.
I'm Lisa Penrose. I am a game designer and brand manager over at DM's Guild.
And Whitney.
Hey, I'm Whitney Moore, actor, writer, gal about town, and you can, not lately though, and tweet me more on Twitter.
And Gabe.
Hi, I'm Gabe. I do cosplay voiceover, and I'm the in-house game designer for Roll20.
JCM.
Hey, I'm Jason Charles Miller. I'm a musician, voiceover actor, and RPG enthusiast.
Gina.
Hello, I'm Gina. Y'all know me from this channel, but if you don't, I do RPGs all over the internet. You can find me on Twitter at Pocket Gina, and that's usually where I will tell you where I am.
And I am Rachel, your DM. Thank you all for joining me. I am so excited to have you on board. Let's get this train rolling. The city of Dogwood is a small town. It calls itself a city. It's not big enough to own that title yet. It will someday, however, and it is growing for sure. But next to the much larger town of Monolith next door that very much owns up to its name, you're still small town folks. It's late afternoon. There's a golden sun trickling off the hills in the distance. You can see the shadows of cactus and short shrubs growing long, and there's a warm breeze that's bringing all of the red dust off the hills down into the town. And you know in the morning you're probably going to have to sweep all that dust off your porches and off your window shutters. At this time of day, people are starting to prepare their dinners. People are milling about, closing up office. The general store is putting out its lights and everyone's getting ready to go home, except for you. The five of you have somewhere to be. One by one, you walk across town from where you are, finishing up your early dinners, finishing up any books that you were reading or tasks that you had, and you trickle into the sheriff's office, which is attached to the jail. The first person there is actually Calliope. Calliope, can you describe yourself just shortly as you show up into this office and try to find a seat somewhere in the corner?
Sure can. Thank you, ma'am. My name is Calliope Ladyfoot, and I am a normal woman with a normal amount of legs. I have a huge bustle that is my signature. It looks to be about 900 pounds, and it's quite wide. So nothing under there worth explaining or worth provoking. But I am standing in the corner. I tend to take up room because of my large hoop skirt, and I am just waiting for my friend to get here, Vicky, because I put in an order earlier and I'm excited to get it.
Waiting for a delivery, of course. Mm-hmm. Well, the next person in is actually the Reverend. Reverend, can you give a short description of you as you enter the sheriff's office? You are muted, sir. It's a silence spell. Just somebody cast it out of nowhere.
Someone
so
just
rude.
cast that on me. What the hell happened? How you do? My name's Reverend Wendell Theed. I'm a cleric, a human cleric of the Church of Merkel, the Lord of Bones, the Lord of the Dead, the Reaper. He comes for everyone. It's not exactly the most popular god, but I've been able to establish my own little church here in town. Try to convince more of the town folk to follow Merkel's ways. He looks pretty much like me.
An easy description. So, Reverend, Calliope, you see each other. Calliope is in the room first and looking for perhaps somewhere to sit, although it is hard with the bustle.
the sheer volume of my bustle, I tend to not take a seat.
Yeah.
Some people find it very respectful, others not so much. But
Mhm.
either way, I do a nice little curtsy. Hello, Reverend. I see you are all outfitted in your signature black today. You look great.
Ma'am, I would say the same to you. It's a brighter day now that I've run into you here.
Curtsy.
A totally normal sound for a curtsy to make.
Yes, thank you.
100%. All right. A couple seconds pass, and then Blanche enters the room. Blanche, give a short description as you enter.
Yeah, if you look out the window, you see Blanche scurrying across town, stopping and waiting at every single street, even if there are no wagons or anything going by. She's a petite, tabaxi, with coloring like a silver tabby, wearing a red and white gingham dress. And she's carrying a little box, which she kind of delicately leads the way into the room, like propping the door open and then coming in with this box of she lets folks know, hi, I brought snickerdoodle cupcakes for the watch.
Hi, Blanche. Wow. Oh, I will have one of those right now. Or is it saved for later? Cause
No, please, I brought plenty. Seconds, thirds. Okay, we'll save some for the best.
They're very aromatic, and the smell fills the room. It's delightful. It's a nice change from the dust smell, frankly, that usually gets in your noses around here, or for the Reverend's case, the smell of death, where you usually stay in the graveyard.
It balances it out. So
There is a good balance, but it's definitely hiding the smell of decay that surrounds you all the time. Mr. Vicky Warren enters a couple seconds after Blanche. Vicky, go ahead and describe yourself.
You see a very normal, with the normal length of arms and legs, looking elf. Got a nice long black locks coming down, a beautiful but very thin beard, nice red vest up top, black pants, beautiful sleek black shoes, again, very normal. Holding 2 bottles in his hand. One is whiskey, the other one just seems to have a nice little smile on it. Now, where is the lovely Miss Ladyfoot?
Vicky, thank you so much. I thought you forgot.
Oh, I'd never forget about you. You'd knock it into me if I did.
Tonight is going to be so much fun. I know that this is work, but I do cherish it. And my favorite thing is to drink your hooch and fight whoever comes into this town. You know how I love that.
I do. To be honest, it's one of my favorite things. I like to get them drunk so I can see them try to fight you. Oh, it's the best show in town.
A very normal crew. Exceedingly normal,
So
if
normal.
you will. And last but not least, a minute passes. And then Miss Taffy May makes her entrance. Taffy May, describe yourself.
You see the ruffles first as she busts through the doors. A extremely large hat and lots of feathers, dressed like she's going to a governor's ball at all times. So much rouge on her cheeks, and almost like she'd eaten an entire berry pie on her lips. She just stumbles in, fixes her dress by pulling the sleeves down, and goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late, y'all. I had so many clients this morning. I almost done run out of pamphlets." Oh my gosh, Calliope, that is quite the dressage today.
Thank you, my sweet Taffy May. How is work going for you?
Oh, I had I sold about 2 products today. Can you believe it?
2 whole products?
2 whole products. I can afford another night at the inn.
You are going to be out of this town before I know, and then I won't get to see you anymore.
No. I'm here for good now until I go, traveling. But I'll be back. Oh, Blanche, I can smell that you are here. It's
Tabby May, and I cupcakes to
Taffy.
celebrate.
Taffy.
Taffy. Okay. All right, yes.
Yeah. Oh, Reverend, Nice low curtsy. And Vicky! I should have known. Smelled you too.
Yeah, it's the smell of success is what I call it.
Smell of success.
Oh, whiskey.
Oh, do you mind if I have that? I got a couple of products that might sound good on.
Whiskey?
You know, I'll leave it as a possible ingredient. Not sure what it does for the cheeks.
Tabitha, what products might these be you be procuring these days?
Oh, are you interested? I've got a few more pamphlets if you want them. Maybe you know, I might be able to do something with that luscious beard of yours.
Well, I do need to do something about this constant smell of death that surrounds me. Of course, it may have to do with the fact that my church is right next to the cemetery, and being the god of death and all,
Well,
sometimes I need to
you know,
grab a few extra members of my congregation out of there. But, well, that's another story. But, sure, yeah.
that's
I'd love
all
to
right.
talk to you
Just
about that at some point.
ask me later. I've got some really excellent news about something called an MLM.
The door opens. And coming from the hallway where you hear some kind of scuffle happening is a very tall man. You know there's talk in town that the sheriff is part Goliath, and you would believe it because he barely fits in this room, and it is a tall ceiling for this town. He has on a vest that is straining and a white blouse that is also straining to keep him in. He has one single, simple black hat and a little pocket where he usually keeps his badge. He likes to keep it hidden. Sheriff Greaves steps in, bowing a little bit to get in through the door frame, and he goes over to his desk where he sits down and the chair creaks underneath him, and he looks up with steel gray eyes, a plain, empty look on his face, and clears his throat. Howdy.
Sheriff?
Howdy. Vicky gets a little bit taller, just a little bit. When the sheriff walks in.
A little imperceptible change. It happens. Now you know that you're all here for what's called the Dogwood Watch. Anyone is welcome to settle in Dogwood. And it comes with some perks. You get a great community of people that will look out for you, but you also have to sign up for a volunteer duty for something called the Dogwood Watch. And it happens to be the time of the month that you are all conscripted. Your names have been pulled from a lottery, and all together, you're going to start the next month's worth of watches. The sheriff clears his throat, and he opens a desk drawer and he pulls out a small bottle that has no label, and he pulls out a little glass. He uncorks the bottle, pours a little bit from the glass, hides it away in his drawer again, takes one swig, and it's gone. And he sets it back down on the table, and he leans a little bit forward and he says, "Y'all know what your duties are, right?"
Yes, sir. It is the only time that I'm legally allowed to fight without getting kicked out of the Lucky Six Saloon. But you know, that's where I make my good dollars.
That is fair.
What exactly do you expect we'll see on the watch, if I may ask?
Well, hopefully nothing. We've had some rumors, and there are some people starting fights coming in from Monolith, but nothing we can't handle.
Oh, that's easy. Can we kill
Sheriff,
them?
if any of these fighters from Monolith were to accidentally expire during one of these fights, what is the protocol on what people do with the bodies afterwards? Just hypothetically speaking.
Reverend, nice to see you as always. The body goes into the cemetery, where it will stay.
Oh yeah, it will stay.
What about skeletons?
Also, where it will stay with the body in the cemetery.
What
like
about
a
just body
normal,
parts?
no, like a normal cemetery. The people
Thanks for
stay in the ground. You
Thanks for
understand?
looking out for me, Vicky. Appreciate that.
Blanche is eating a cupcake and has frosting on her nose. And she says, everyone's asking such weird questions. I've been doing the watch since I was 18, and nothing like that has ever happened before.
I look at that. Is your cow around?
My cow is outside. I didn't bring my cow inside. But you maybe hear mooing coming from just outside the sheriff's office.
Vicky jumps.
Blanche, whenever there's a moo, every once in a while interspersed, you hear some kind of a soft whisper in there. And you know, that's just Bess.
Yeah,
that's totally normal. Just a normal cow. Normal cow, normal people, normal crew. Everything is totally normal in Dogwood. Yeah, everything's totally normal in Dogwood.
That makes it more true, Vicky.
Now, speaking of normal, how is Bess? I haven't seen that sweet face in so long.
Bess is doing well. She had this little cow cold for a little bit where she kept sneezing sparkles, so we kept her at home, but she's out and about again.
The sheriff clears his throat. If you don't mind.
I did have one question.
Yes.
Yes. Now, at the top of this, I know this is a voluntary situation, but you did say something along the lines of winning the lottery. Is there a monetary value to this watch?
No, the lottery was you going through the watch.
Oh.
The lottery was drawn to see who would be part of the watch. You understand?
Understood. You said
That was
lottery.
the word.
I have a question also, Mr.
Yes,
Sheriff.
Calliope.
Yes, hi, Calliope Ladyfoot.
Yes, we know each other.
That's right. I was just wondering if any troublemakers were to come over, could Miss Taffy sell her products to them, and maybe that instead, as a, I'm all for violence, but as a non-violence alternate route, maybe we could get a supply line going or something. I'm just looking out for my girl.
P. Oh my gosh. I never thought, but did you know that if you joined my particular ranks, that we could sell together and it would be sort of like a commission-based thing?
Ladies.
Oh, darling.
Ladies, please.
Yes.
Your watch is about to start in a couple minutes. So, all I need you to do is wander through town all night. Go through the whole route. You should have a map. You just make sure nothing happens. If you hear any fighting, you take care of it. If there's people being thrown out of the saloons, you go offer your aid. You just gotta be the protection for your neighbors in this town. You think you can handle it?
Of course.
We'll handle it, Sheriff.
All right.
Now our watch begins.
Well, give it a minute.
All right. I'm anxious to find. Never mind. I'm anxious to do my duty as a citizen of this town.
Yes.
If it's people who are from outside of town that die, do we bury them in our graveyard or do we just bury them outside?
Great question.
Oh, yeah. Do they get
You ask an awful lot of questions. I don't think any of the other groups have asked this many questions, especially about bodies.
We're overzealous.
I guess you could say that. All right. Well, I won't ask, and you won't tell. How about that?
Perfect. I wink at the Reverend.
That's my motto.
I don't know what's going on, but all right.
Last time it was cupcakes, some cold milk. It'll be great, like a sleepover, but we'll be awake. And I nod to the sheriff vigorously.
Oh, you mean for the watch, not with the dead bodies. Okay.
He just squints his eyes at all of you, and there's a moment where he kind of looks up like he's expecting something, and then out in the hall you hear some kind of clock go off, telling you the hour. It is 6 p.m. He nods at all of you and he says, all right, your watch has started. Go on, get.
I don't know why I'm so excited.
It's 6 p.m. and that means it's time for my Vicky juice. Vicky!
Yes, Calliope.
Please
I
do
brought
not
my
drink
coin.
in the sheriff's office. Do
Yes,
that
sir.
outside.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
Walk outside and I pull out 2 bottles from underneath the sheriff's office floor.
He just kind of shrugs. I think at this point he's very used to that.
Yeah.
Please don't do that anymore.
Vicky,
I
I
pull out
want
2 more and then I leave.
Mm-hmm. Before we move on, I want you all to know you all have 1 reroll each, and we have 5 party rerolls.
Hey,
Thank you, chat.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
we're screwed.
We also have a single
Yeah.
boon or bane, and I think it's my choice, so we'll be deciding that in a moment. I'm gonna roll some dice and see what I get.
In the
It'll
meantime,
be
I'd like to enter a bet with you.
Go
Okay.
on.
I bet that I can drop. I can drop the first son of a gun who walks into this town first. And if I don't do it first, I'll bet you my share of Blanche's cupcakes.
Can you bet me something else? I feel like the cow makes the cupcakes and the cow scares me, to be honest.
I guess they are free also. All right, I'll bet you. Well, how about this? A good old favor. I'll drop whoever you want. Or do a favor. But you owe me too if I get one.
Is Calliope becoming a hitman?
Deal.
Well, Calliope, I just like to fight. And so for the first one, and also, I roll tight with my crew. Vicky's an old friend. And so whoever he wants me to beat up, shoot, I got it.
You've got a deal, Calliope.
Shake our normal hands.
Normal hands, yes.
Uh-huh. Very normal hands for a very exceedingly normal party. You all head outside and you see that Bess, who you all recognize at this point, Blanche's trusty cow and companion, is just hanging out. You don't even need to tie her up anymore. She'll just hang out wherever you are and wait for you to come out, and she just follows immediately.
I feed her a cupcake.
She takes it happily.
Oh, hey, Bess, how are you?
The cow looks over at Calliope as it's eating.
Oh, I can talk to animals.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, I can talk. Bess, how's your day going?
This is a slow answer back and says, fine. My stomach hurts.
Yeah, you should
One
probably
of them.
lay off the cupcakes.
They're very good.
All right, well, see you around.
I'll be here.
So sweet, Blanche. She's so sweet.
Vicky, I couldn't help but notice everyone else had some of my snickerdoodle cupcakes, but you didn't. And I was wondering if maybe you didn't notice that I brought them and I'd made them. And do you want one? Do you? And I'm like pressing the box against you.
Yes, I would love a snickerdoodle cupcake. That sounds divine.
Yes. Oh, good. Okay. For a moment, I thought maybe you didn't like them or me or something, but
I'll grab one, and I want to sleight of hand it, like I threw it in my mouth, but throw it over my shoulder.
Sure. Make a sleight of hand check, and actually we're gonna contest it against a perception check.
yes.
Yeah, let's see. First roll.
I got a natural 20.
I hate you!
Oh!
Hold on.
So you very
Glad
obviously
we got
like,
that out of the way.
unless you got another 20, he just went, right over his shoulder into the dirt, and you see it go frosting down into the dirt.
There's like an awkward pause as I'm looking at the cupcake and then at Vicky and then at the cupcake on the ground.
Oh no, I missed. Oh god, this is the worst. I'm gonna go pick it up, and I'm still going to eat it.
Covered it, you turn it upside down, the white frosting on top is flat and just red with dust. It's gritty.
There's other cupcakes.
Taking a good helping of alcohol.
I'm just gonna look at Bess and shrug and put the cupcake box like tied onto. There's maybe like a little thing on Bess's back to help carry baked goods. I tuck the cupcakes in there.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I rolled for our boon or bane. It ended up being a bane.
Oh no.
As the wind blows in through town, you see a little dust devil coming through, and unfortunately, Miss Taffy May, you are looking at this dust devil and your eyes start to burn as the dust gets into them.
Oh my!
You now have disadvantage on perception rolls for this episode.
The whole episode! Oh,
The
Wow.
whole episode.
dang it! I knew I should have brought my parasol tonight. What?
Mhm.
Oh,
And it's,
Taffy May, your rouge
stuck,
is smearing.
stuck in your
Oh,
eyelashes. You
don't
get a
say
little
that.
dusting on your lips.
Oh, I need to invent some sort of makeup that don't drip when you cry. Oh, boy. Oh.
Waterproof mascara. All right. You know, it is about, at this point, 6:05. So you are 5 minutes into your watch. What do? You have a path you can take. Where do you go?
Well, let's see.
Would someone take my arm?
Right here, I take Taffy May's arm and I say, "You just get behind my bustle, girl. I'll go ahead and, we'll keep on walking."
Can you just look inside? Can you look?
Inside your eye? Yeah, you've got
Yeah.
quite a bit of dust in there, sugar. You
I can
just,
tell.
Mhm.
It feels like Bess sneezed in my face.
I'm gonna try to spit in your eye just
Go
cause
for
just for a little bit of
trust you.
lubrication. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna spit in your eye. Okay. Should I roll for that?
No.
Okay.
You don't have to roll.
I
You just have her face in front of you. Go
I
right
spit
into her eye.
right into your eye. I hope that helps lubricate some of the granules that are in there. Does that help? Sugar?
It becomes a little bit of a paste instead.
Ew.
But you know what? Honestly, paste is better than dust.
That's what we always say, you and I.
Dude,
Ever since childhood, we've
A
always
common
said.
phrase. Yeah,
paste is better than dust.
it is. It's true.
Well, at the very least, we should probably walk past the Lucky Six Saloon and make sure there's no nefarious goings on around there. That seems to be where most of the people from Monolith might come from.
I like the way you think, Reverend. All right, let's go to the saloon.
All right. So you wander into town, and you know that your watch is going to be an overnight watch. This is a night shift for when the sheriff can actually take his own sleep.
Oh my,
So
we're going to the saloon.
Yeah, you have a lot of time ahead of you. So you go over to the saloon. It's a tall rectangular building. It's 3 stories. You know, the top 2 stories are used for housing. People can pay a rent. It's like an old school apartment building, but in the West. And some of you actually might live in the inn if you don't have your own house.
Oh, it's the inn. I thought this was the bar.
It's the saloon
The
slash
inn's above
inn.
the bar.
Yeah. They're
And
the
I
same.
assume that some people rent it by the day, by the week, by the month, and some by the hour.
They do, yeah. There's some hourly pay here and there. Not super common, since this is a smaller town, much more common in Monolith, but it happens. So, the Lucky Six Saloon. Giant old sign right on the front, and it's worn down from all the wind. You step inside, the doors swing open, and there's a mess of people in here. There's a low cloud of smoke from cigars hanging in the air. There's a little stage off in the far right corner underneath the staircase that goes up to the 2nd floor. On the stage is a saloon girl, a little old and doing her best to dance with arthritis, but she manages. Her knees don't kick up quite as high as they used to, but she still has quite an adoring audience, and there's a little piano player on the stand-up piano next to her, playing a little ditty. And there is a barkeep, which, in fact, most of you know. He's very popular in town, even though he's rather new. He's been here only for a couple of days, but he's made his rounds to say hello. He's living here now. He's your new neighbor. His name is Mr. Clocher. He's a tiefling. Dark green skin, bright silver eyes, curling horns, always dressed to the nines. Fancy as heck. Every time. And he's sitting behind the bar just cleaning a glass.
Hi, Mr. Cliche. Can we get a group discount? We're on night patrol tonight. You know, we need to. Have you seen any troublemakers around your bar, around this lovely, lovely establishment?
He leans in a little bit on the bar and motions all of you forward, and he says, "Well, aren't you just pretty as a peach? Now, you say all of you are on watch tonight. My, that's a hard job. I don't envy you. It's a long shift, too. No discounts, Calliope. You know that.
Shoot, I know. I was just playing with you. You know, I just gotta keep it light. We're just here to see if there's anyone that needs a little shakedown. Because we know that's the gift that keeps on giving.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we did have a bar fight in here earlier, but not for a while. Miss Calliope. Every time he says your name, it's wrong.
Calliope. I think that's a town.
I don't know
that's
many
Calico.
towns.
Oh.
What was that, Reverend?
Oh, I think Calico's the town, but I'm
Calico.
not sure. But are any
Is that
of
your name? Oh.
these individuals that were fighting earlier, any of them still here in this here establishment?
Well, Samson is, and he points off in a corner, and there's a dwarf man that's just doubled over on a table, passed out. He says, but I don't think he's going to be a problem. Not tonight.
All right.
You're welcome to come by later. I'm sure there's going to be a fight or two that breaks out. Always is.
Shift is early, so.
Although if Miss Calliope is not in here, then might be a quiet night. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know, I'm just protecting the goods. There's nothing more important to me in this town than friendship, and also that hooch that you keep behind that bar.
Sure.
Can we do just a quick? Let's do a loop. Let's just take a vibe check and see if there's any stuff going on.
A vibe check. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go for it. All right. If you are looking around the bar looking for something suspicious, roll an investigation check. And if anyone is trying to be stealthy or sneaky about it, roll a performance check for me.
I got an 8.
I got a 9.
Reverend, it's hard to see over your hat because it dips so low in front of your face.
Right.
For performing, I got a 14.
11.
Foreman, I got a 19.
Oh, okay. All right, so Miss Taffy May, you try to blend in a little bit in the background against a wall to survey your surroundings. It's a little hard as you are a big personality.
And I'm blinded.
Yeah, and you're a little blinded. However, Vicky, you're very stealthy. You lean back and you blend into the crowd like nobody's business. Your friends even kind of lose sight of you for a second as you bob and weave through tables of people that are going through gambling games and throwing down cards and chips. You notice one man pocketing something from the table in the middle of a card game.
I want to walk over and kind of like a drunken stumble.
All right. You stumble over.
Hi, friend. What game are you playing?
This halfling turns and looks at you. He's got a gnarly scar. Someone you've seen once or twice. A town drunk, gambles to get his money just to spend it all on drink. He lives kind of out back behind the saloon. He's made himself a little bit of a shack, but hasn't had the easiest upbringing, and it definitely shows in the way he acts now. And he looks you up and
humanize
down.
him like that?
Huh?
How dare you humanize him like that?
I mean, he's just a thief, just a drunk, and that's it. But he looks you up and down and he says, "It's a card game, friend." And he goes back to throwing cards.
I want to thieves can't kind of tap it on the table,
Mm-hmm.
then be better at cheating and see if he understands.
You tap out this Morse code, and you see his whole body freeze up. And he doesn't turn his face to look at you, but he's glancing in the side of his vision at where you're pressed up against the table next to him. He clears his throat and he says, "I think I'm done for the night." And he throws his cards down, and you see he's sleight of hands, although he's not very good, a card from his back pocket that would have been a winning hand, and he tosses it in as well. He turns, nods to you, says, "Sir," quickly, and vacates the bar.
Well, back to the group. I think I made a friend.
Oh, where'd you come from?
Vicky
Oh.
kind of just appears out of the crowd.
I was under the floorboards.
Ah, This is a fascinating place. I'm having trouble blending in, if you know what I mean, because I just want to look at everything. I also want to taste that, but I don't.
It's like looking into the sun. It's terrible.
It is. You know, I've never entered through this door. I'm staying here, but I go around the back because I'm too scared to walk through here. But my goodness, there's so much hair, Vicky.
My problem is everywhere I look, I see sin. So I can't differentiate worse sin from better sin. It's just sin everywhere.
Would you
All
like
the
some of my
sin.
paste? It helps kind of blur the vision.
Well,
Then you won't be
Reverend,
able to
it's
see
all
the sin.
Looks a
It's
little
all
less
sin.
sinful because you can't see.
Taffy May, oh my gosh, is everyone more attractive with paste in your eyes? It's like smearing Vaseline on the lens.
Well,
What's
No, that's called-
Vaseline?
I want to
That's
take a
called-
look at everyone around.
It's called
Are
beard
they-
goggles, Calliope. It's not the paste.
Oh, because everyone looks so dang cute to me right now. And Taffy May, you don't need to be scared to come walk through the front door ever since you got your makeover, girl.
Well, I'm sorry. It's fine. And to answer your question, no, because I'm not particularly attracted to blobs. They just look like blobs. That one ain't bad. I like the color.
The saloon seems as quiet as the saloon can be at this time of night. There's no fights currently. You know, you have quite a bit more watch to go over.
Well, did my job. I'm gonna fall behind and drink.
All right.
I feel like we should head to some of the four corners of this town and see if there's any goings-ons that might be suspicious.
I like to come. I'll go with you, Reverend.
I feel like they've got the saloon covered. We always know something. Some minor disturbance is going to happen here, but with the town watch, we want to make sure that any major disturbances are taken care of as soon as possible.
Of course, and we all know Miss Cantaloupe has got it. Wink.
That's right. Man, that Mr. Cliche can never get my name right, but you know I don't care. He's just so sweet. And he also doesn't really kick me out when I stir up trouble and I get a little too drunk. So
He definitely doesn't. He has a
can-
very suave way about him.
he can call me anything that he wants as long as he lets me drink in his bar and fight whoever I want to fight.
What do you think, Blanche? You want to come with Reverend and I? This place is starting to give me the vapors.
I think so. I miss Bess anyway.
Sure.
Don't like her being outside all alone.
You hear one mournful wail of a cow outside. All right, so are just the three of you going, or
Let's all go.
Deal,
It's night
man.
watch.
You're welcome to come. I thought y'all wanted to stay and drink.
Well, I've got my hooch right here on me. I can drink wherever I want.
I've got bottles in pretty much every building's floor, so wherever we go, I'm good.
you do have a walking bar with you, and that's Vicky.
Cheers.
Vicky, I'll save my share till the end of the watch. I prefer to have my senses sharp.
He thinks he's
gonna get a
share.
That makes sense. Calliope, shush. The Reverend is preaching, and you know what? He's actually, I think I'm kind of interested.
Don't you turn on me now, Vicky. Don't you become a religious man. Now, you know I can't handle that level of purity.
Hey, I heard they drink wine in church.
Wine in church, you
That we
say?
do, and for clergy of Merkel, we drink more than wine. But we'll talk about that later.
But I had no idea. Where are we going? I had no idea. No idea.
Who's taking the lead?
I will. Everyone can get behind my bustle, but do not climb on top of it, please. I've had people try to do that. And,
There's a cannon in there, isn't there?
you know, what is under a lady's bustle is none of your gentleman's business, and I will thank you not to ask, my friend.
As you guys are saying this out loud, a couple of the patrons that are near you turn and look over their shoulders at what's happening.
Don't look at the
Then they
bustle.
look back.
Don't look under my bustle.
They look back at their game, a little startled.
Rude. You heard her. Don't look at a lady's bustle.
There's a woman that leans over to whisper to the woman next to her at the card game table.
Hey, what are you saying? Hey!
They try to ignore you as best as possible while playing their game.
I'm on that watch. That means I got a license to kill tonight, all right? All right?
Calliope, let's go. Let's go. Just kind of like lead Calliope.
Oh, I'm so hated. Oh,
It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna brush your hair.
thank you. Oh, you know I love that.
But before I go, I'm gonna open my fan myself, close it, and then just gently whack that lady on the head.
She lets out a cry and looks around.
Oh, my apologies. I'm so sorry. I'm such a clumsy little biscuit with this thing. And then
Yes,
move
you
on.
are. And she turns back to her card game.
Don't mind. They talk all they want, Calliope.
Thank you, Tough
Plus your busybodies.
All right, so you head out. At this moment, we have something very special. This is called the High Noon, and it's for one Blanche Lively. Blanche, you just tell us what's going on in your mind. This just acts as your own confessional. How you feeling? How you feeling about your crew and where you're at right now in the Night Watch?
Gosh, everyone's making such a big deal about Calliope's bustle, and I'm just wondering, I mean, I'm 18 and 3 months now, so I should probably get a bustle as well. You could fit so many cupcakes under there. It could be a good delivery method, but Blanche, this is a really important duty. You are on watch. Stay focused. Concentrate. This is your chance to show everybody that you are not the little milk girl that you used to be in town. You are a serious grown-up Tabaxi Lively. You carry the Lively family name, and me and Bess are going to show this town what's up.
Perfect. Now, you've all stepped outside of the saloon, the Lucky Six. Where are you headed to now? You have the entire town at your disposal. Where do you think trouble's gonna stir?
Blanche, you've done more of these than anyone else, I think. Where do people usually stir up trouble past 6 o'clock?
Past 6 o'clock? Well, I mean, I think the Reverend had a good idea that we should go to the corners of the town and just do a look. Like I said, nothing serious usually happens. Maybe we can eat some cupcakes at each corner, kind of space it out. But it'll be fun. A fun watch.
And as I've always said, nothing good ever happens past 6 o'clock.
Y'all, I just had an idea. Oh my god. Okay. Vicky,
Yes.
can I get that bottle of whiskey?
Which,
Is that the
Yes.
idea?
Okay. Well, there's okay, yes, but
Is there a
there's
part
more
two?
to it. Okay, and I take a cupcake and I dunk it. It's a snickerdoodle cupcake, so the cinnamon, the whisk, I just feel like it's gonna be right as rain. I dunk it, and you know what? I try it, and it's delicious as hell.
You know what it tastes like? It tastes the way you think a fireball would taste. That cinnamon, such a tang. That's probably a good
Blanche.
name for a brand.
Oh, Blanche, you gotta do this. I know that you'll put that other baker to shame. I know she's been giving you a real hard time lately, and this is the
Dunk it
edge
right
you need.
in the, or do I pour, or
Dunk it.
Okay. She dunks the cupcake in the whiskey, and then she takes a tiny bite and starts coughing. Oh my god. I mean, the cupcake part is good.
Maybe it's for a specific clientele. They could sell at the saloon as food and drink. Oh, y'all. Oh,
Saloon. There's so many people go to the saloon. That would be okay.
you better tell Bessie to start making more buttermilk.
mm,
Did you hear that, Bess?
She lets off a little moo, and Vicky, you think she might be looking at you.
Calliope, I think she's gonna talk to me again.
I just wouldn't. I just avert your eyes. You know, there's stuff going on with Bess. She's got some physically internal and also mentally internal things going on. And
She's got-
yes, I know you can hear me, Bess.
She's got a very deep, ominous voice. Speaks kind of fast, too. Like it.
I know, Bess, well, let's just leave Bess alone for now.
She's chewing on some kind of cud and just staring.
Well, where'd you get that cud?
She doesn't answer.
I think she stole my cud. It's okay, I've got more. I take out some cud and I also chew it.
All right, well.
What's happening? Maybe I shouldn't take this whiskey cupcake idea.
Just a little friendly competition between one two-legged regular person and a cow.
There's nothing wrong with a old West woman enjoying a cud every now and then. One cud. And yes, it is okay to swallow. I don't care what the town doctor says. It is perfectly good for your digestive system. In fact, it's delicious.
Here, here.
Thank you.
All right. On that note, back to the watch. Speaking of cud.
Oh, is this not part of it? Oh, dang. I was going to say, I'm going to sign up every day. You're right, Blanche. It is like a sleepover. I've never been to one either, but you know what? This feels like it.
So you're starting in the four corners, but which corner specifically?
The left one.
The left one, as in the one up above the schoolhouse? To the northwest?
You're right. School. Yeah. Let's go towards the schoolhouse.
All right. So you head just in a diagonal over towards the schoolhouse. You meander past this giant well in the center of town. It's where everybody used to get their water, but now you have a more sophisticated water well system. You head off towards the west and then up north a little bit, and behind the town is just a simple series of buildings around these four corners, just a four-pointed crossroads. And behind the buildings, there's just an expanse of flat land until you get to the hills in the far distance, and there are huge, jagged spikes and shapes of all kinds, and then some flat plateaus. There are many short plants that survive with very little water out here, and many cactuses, but not a lot of people. There are very few people that live far away from town, and those that do are usually the ranchers that own large parcels of land around here. You know, those are the wealthiest families. And far, far off in the distance, if you squint and you know where you're looking, you can see the outline of a house. But you don't see anybody else here. The lights are off in the schoolhouse.
Did I pick the wrong corner?
Well, we can try the other three.
I don't think there's anything here, just some stinky old, rich old ranchers.
I mean,
Looks the same as it always does.
it just seems like the kind of place that there's an ambush or somebody's died. Not speaking from experience, just looks.
Yeah, it also looks like a place where maybe some bodies were dug up. Not speaking from experience, of course. Just speculate.
Okay.
Sounds normal to me.
Very normal.
Why don't we head down to the southwest corner and see what's going on down there?
Yes,
All right.
excellent idea.
You head down towards the southwest. You go around the blacksmith's home and shop, and you see there's a light on in the window, just a little candle, and you can see the blacksmith herself. A very beautiful woman. She's the kind of woman that a lot of the men in town who are single are trying to woo, but no one's quite done it yet. And she's sitting at a fireplace. When you pass by, you can glance in her window and see she's sitting at a fireplace, and she looks like she's polishing a sword that she made earlier that day. She has these long plaits of hair that go down her back, just black as midnight. She has soft features, a soft face, and a wide nose. She's rather beautiful, very striking. But she likes to keep her distance. If any of you have weapons that you've bought in town, you bought them from her. And she's definitely better than any blacksmith in Monolith. Sometimes people come from Monolith just to get her wares, but she's particular who she sells to. But you head off into the southwest corner.
Do we all just stare until the last moment of the window?
Yeah, 100%.
Probably.
Absolutely.
She's a lovely, lovely woman.
And what is her name?
Her name is Delphinia.
Oh, yes, Delphinia.
Delphinia Smith.
Delphinia we remember because it's such an easy name to remember, Delphinia.
Sure, yeah, very common.
Just like Calliope.
Mm-hmm. All very common normal names. She looks like she's probably a half-elf, maybe? High elf. She has high cheekbones and pointed ears.
I'd never dare to try and sell any beauty products to her. She don't need none.
Yeah, she
Never
also
spoken
she
to
never
her.
wears makeup.
No.
No, she's in
And
front of
some
a fire
people
too
are like
often.
that. Some people don't need any rouge or lip stain or any gunk paste in their eyeballs. None of them. None of them. Sometimes no one needs none of them. Excuse me, I seem to have more dust in my eye.
Taffy
Well,
May, Taffy May,
Yeah.
you don't know that she doesn't want rouge or nothing like that. It's a woman's prerogative. This is the Old West. A woman can do what she wants, famously.
Famously.
Damn right we can and we will.
So maybe she's just waiting for you to ask, you know? A stranger is just a customer you haven't met yet.
Are you still lingering by the window?
We're all just
Yeah.
out, like discussing around her window. Yep.
At this point, the window opens, and you look up, and there's Delphinia, and she kind of leans herself on the windowsill and moves the candle out of her way, and she says, "Well, howdy, everybody. How you doing tonight?"
Well, hi there, stranger. I don't believe we've met.
"Oh, no, I remember you, but I think you're going by another name nowadays, aren't you?"
Yes. You can, I'll reintroduce myself. I'm Taffy May.
"Oh, that is a lovely name. Miss Taffy May, it is a pleasure to make your reacquaintance."
Oh my. Who needs rouge now? Am I blushing? What's going on? I feel hot.
"Are y'all all right?"
I'm okay. I think your stove is making me a little warm.
"The one on the other side of the room?"
Yes. I just had a few questions. We are on the night watch tonight, but we were just admiring your sword making.
"Oh, well, thank you." And
Um,
as you look in over her shoulder, you see the entire wall around this fireplace is covered in pieces that she has made.
she's so cool. Oh my gosh, she's so cool. Okay, so I just as a reintroduction a gift, I wanted to give you some free samples if you'd like.
"Oh, samples of what, darling?"
Oh, I sell makeup now.
Mike.
And sort of mending ointments and creams, and sometimes rehair growth or rehair removals and the like. They can be used on clothing too if you rip a seam or something. Just glorious stuff.
"I could use some mending, for sure."
Okay.
Well, blacksmithing's got to be tough on those hands, those beautiful hands, right? Hi.
Well, and she pulls out her hands, and she has these long, strong fingers, but her nails are the perfect, like she could be a hand model. She has lovely hands, and she holds them out, and she says, I don't know if they're rough or not. No one ever touches my hands except for me."
Would you like that to change?
Let's all touch your hands.
Okay,
"If
well,
you'd like." And she kind of leans a whole arm out the window.
Oh, they are as soft as butter. Oh, shoot, Taffy May, I don't know.
"Well, I do use a lot of lotion, and by lotion I mean it's a butter base, so I would hope."
Butterbase.
Yeah.
Butterbase.
have you
Reverend, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, man. Butterbase. I look over at the cow. Have a think for a second. But anyway. Man, we're just on the watch tonight, so
Oh my.
pay us no mind. We're just making sure everything is tip top here in town.
Everything's fine in this corner. Just nice and quiet. Well, if any of you need a pick-me-up in the middle of the night, I'll probably be awake working on this sword here. So I'll make you some coffee if you need it. You just come on by.
Well, we just started, but yeah, we may be back later for some of that there coffee.
And
Absolutely.
if you need any creams or hooch or cupcakes or someone to beat up a friend or a spiritual awakening, you just, you know where to find us. We'll be around.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's an awful lot of services.
So there are quite a few goods in this group.
Yes, there are. Well,
If
I
you
must
count
get back.
us, we're technically the lucky 6. That was a joke.
No,
Okay.
I liked it. I
Oh,
wish you
really?
all the luck.
Thanks. Here's
If you
your
count the cow.
samples.
Oh, thank you. I'll use it on my apron. It's a little torn and a little old, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, I must get back to my sword now. Y'all have a lovely night.
Thank
She
you.
closes the window.
As the
think that
window
went
closes and she walks away, Blanche goes, I'm Blanche.
Oh, Blanche.
Protect Blanche.
Oh.
A couple of minutes pass and then the candle goes out.
We should probably move away from the window. I'm starting to feel a little bit like a lurker.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so you head behind the southwest corner of town, and you see the back of the much larger chapel. Reverend, you know exactly which chapel this is. This is the chapel that's dedicated to Joaquin. She's called the Lady of Gold, or the Lady of the Coin. She is very popular here and very popular in Monolith because she looks over merchants and travelers and caravans, anyone selling goods, and she's actually fairly close to the bank itself. And you know, the bank has a little shrine to her as well, as a woman, as a goddess who looks after coin. She's very popular for sellers.
It's hard to compete with a goddess like that, but I have my faith and I have my congregation, and I'm loyal to them. I'm working hard to expand. In the meantime, gotta give respect where respect is due.
All right. So it's just the
But
back
I'm not
of
happy
the
about
chapel. Of course, absolutely. It's quiet back here. There's not much. You see just an inverse image of the exact same thing you saw before. Just an expanse of land and some cactus and a ranch far off in the distance.
All right. I have a question. So, in the before times, before I was Taffy May, I used to sort of, sneak around town and just sort of find fun places, little nooks and crannies and the like.
Mhm.
Do I know of any places within the bank that are sort of easy to get into that I can go and examine? See if someone's rummaging?
You can get into the bathroom. The bathrooms are usually locked at this time of night. However, they lock every door. There's one window that's always open because it's the bathroom
in the
window.
bank?
It's a small one. But yeah, you can also, underneath the chapel, you knew as a kid, when you were trying to find places to sleep that were warm, there is a dugout hidden behind a scrub brush where you can go underneath the foundation of the chapel of Joaquin.
Okay, I'm gonna go put my ear to the hole.
Sure.
Because I do not particularly want to get my dress that dirty tonight.
Understandable. So you all see Taffy May head over to this big bush behind the temple of Joaquin. She pulls a bit of it aside and she listens in. Can everybody make a perception check for me?
Ah.
My perception is
15.
I'm
disadvantage.
hindered. But
You are
does it
hindered.
count from my ear holes? Do I got dust in my ears too? Oh, dang
Yes, you sure do. You're gonna have to take a bath later on and it's just gonna be red.
21.
Mm.
Oh, well, that was a nice roll, and that one wasn't.
Merkel
get,
is my
Reverend?
witness. I rolled a natural 20.
Oh,
Excellent.
That gives me a 27.
Whoa!
Amazing. This is perfect.
Merkel is my witness. I also got a nat 20 for a 28.
Oh,
I'm starting to
I love
believe,
it.
Reverend. I'm starting to believe.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
The Lord of Bones works in mysterious ways.
You sure do.
And it got this.
I got a 20 as well. Not a nat 20, but just a 20.
A dirty 20. All right. You all hear this, actually. There's a rattling sound. It's not coming from underneath the chapel. It's coming from outside of town in, and you know this sound. It's the sound of a wagon, and it's moving quickly. But both Vicky and the Reverend, there's something else that catches your attention. It's some supernatural sense. It's the sense of death.
You sense
But
that?
You hear a carriage coming into town, a wagon of some kind. And there are voices. And it stops abruptly in the northeast corner.
That's near the cemetery.
It sure is.
Let's head on over there.
That feels...
Something's not right.
You duck between some buildings and you hurry off into that corner, across the center of town. And going between the jailhouse and the bank, Alberts and Sons, you see this giant open space that's fenced off, and there are some wooden tombstones and some stone tombstones in this fenced off plain. And you see this carriage has come up around the fence, and you notice the doctor, Dr. Jesse. Everyone in town knows him. He has delivered most of the babies here. Might have even delivered you. He's in his 50s. And he gets up from the wagon, and there's a man next to him that you don't recognize, but there's also something in the back of the wagon. It's not covered, it's just an open bed. And they start pulling something out of it. And you hear the doctor saying something to the man, the two of you that had your nat 20s. You hear him saying, "It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame we couldn't get to him in time."
They're dumping a body. Well, Reverend, this one came from outside, so...
Fair game. Let's just follow and see where they bury him.
Good plan.
All right.
Oh, are we stealthing? Are we stealth? Are we stealthing right now?
No,
Do
I
you want to stealth?
I don't think we need to stealth. We're the city watch. We're the night watch tonight. We should just walk up all casual like.
Okay, good, because I have had a lot of whiskey, and I also am quite large, and it's hard for me to stealth.
I'm a stealth.
Okay. Roll a stealth if you are stealthing.
I will not stealth.
18.
18. You find the shadows of the buildings. The moon is in a position at this point of night, as it is now night, for sure. There are plenty of shadows for you to hide in. Mm-hmm. Reverend, you're not trying to hide, because this is rather close to your chapel. Of course you would be out here, but also you're a part of the watch tonight. And everyone knows. You come up, and the doctor turns and looks over his shoulder and kind of clutches at his heart, and he says, "Oh, my... startled me, Reverend. Awful nice to see you."
Doc?
And Reverend, you see the man that's with him is the Undertaker. And this wagon is actually black. It's the Undertaker's rig. And they have a body wrapped in burlap. It's a short body. And you can't see the face, and they're pulling it off the bed of the wagon, and the doctor keeps glancing up at you specifically, Reverend. Reverend, can I help you?
What do we have here tonight?
Well, this poor soul was on his way to Monolith, and looks like somebody or something stopped him, if you know what I mean.
Is this a child or a halfling? I'm not really sure.
He's a grown man, and he moves the burlap, and you see this visage of a gnome. And their face is gone pale, but they have like a deep gray skin. Their eyes have started to glaze over a little bit with death, and their features are stuck in the face of a person that wanted to fight. Their expression is now static. And he puts the burlap back over.
Whereabouts did this happen? How did you happen across him? Sorry, I'm asking so many questions, but it is my job tonight.
Oh, that's right. You're part of the watch tonight.
That's
Well,
right.
sir, I was heading back from Monolith with some supplies, and he motions up towards the front of the wagon where there's a box that would have been at his feet. And you see it's something from the post office in Monolith. It has a stamp, and it has a bunch of writing on top of it. And he says, "We were coming back, and the Undertaker was giving me a ride. Thank you." The Undertaker nods. And we found this wagon that was on fire. Looks like it was coming from the opposite direction, but we were closer to Dogwood than Monolith, so we figured when we found the body, we might as well take him here and just get the poor soul buried.
Wise indeed. How far? So it happened closer to here than it did to Monolith. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
And you just found him and nothing else, huh?
Well, his wagon was on fire. Wasn't much left of it by the time we got there.
Did you have a chance to examine it to see if maybe the fire was procured by magical means?
Oh, no, sir. I'm a doctor. I don't know how to... That's not my area of expertise. We're not sure.
Right.
Do you think you can find out?
It's possible. It's definitely something we should, I think we should investigate as the night watch. What do y'all think? Fellow watch people?
Oh shoot, I'm just ready for some action. I am 2/3 of the way with this bottle of hooch, and I'm ready to start punching. So you just let me know where to punch and I'll punch.
If it happened close to town, I think it's our responsibility as the watch.
I believe it is as well. It's early enough tonight. I don't think anything's going to be... I think we can all go together and get back here in time for before the saloon closes and any other kind of trouble happens. What do you think? Should we all head out there together?
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to go as a group.
Is the Undertaker still here by any chance? Is he with us?
Yeah, he's standing right next to the doctor.
Okay, I'm just gonna sidebar. Before we go, does anybody want to hawk their wares? We've got a lot of business people in this group.
The Undertaker is actually a rather mysterious figure. They wear a wide-brimmed black hat and some kind of hood over their face. There's something about them that they want to maintain an air of mystery.
Maybe he's insecure. Taffy May.
Yes. Is it not inappropriate to do business above a dead body?
They are currently both carrying the body towards the cemetery.
I'm just, you know what? I got. I'll just leave a little sample pack right there, my card on the back, right there, right there. And it's it's prestidigitation cream. So if they want to clean up the body, they can do that. And a little note to the Undertaker, like, hey, you ever need some services to make a body look nice before it goes in the ground? Let me know.
All right.
And then I walk away because, my gosh, my hand got so close to the dead body.
It sure did.
I don't like that. No.
You notice that the doctor leans over and whispers something to the Undertaker, and the Undertaker takes the entire body and starts to walk further into the cemetery. But the doctor comes towards the fence and leans on it and motions all of you closer, and he looks at the Reverend and he says, Reverend, would you happen to be able to be one of those fellows that is able to talk to the dead? Is that a part of your skill set?
Well, as a matter of fact, I don't like to talk about that too much, but as a matter of fact, I can. I have been known to speak with the dead from time to time.
All right, because I gotta say, when I did look at the body, it was really hard to tell what the cause of death was, but I'm very sure it was not the fire. Would you mind asking him a couple questions?
No problem at all. So,
all right. Reverend, come with me.
Pull out a little thing of incense out of my top pocket here and put some down on the ground. Light it.
He actually opens the gate that he had closed behind him to the cemetery. And it's just a wooden fence with a wooden gate and a latch. It's more for posterity's sake. It's not locked, but he opens it for you. And he urges you, just the Reverend, inside and kind of does a please wait here to everybody else. And he leads you over to where the Undertaker has propped the body up a little bit against a single barren tree in the graveyard. And he crouches down and he says, all right, Reverend, do your thing.
All right. Take out a little incense, put it on the ground, light it, cast Speak with Dead.
All right. Reverend, you close your eyes and you try and channel your god, a god of the dead, a god of bones. And you feel this echo instead of hearing it. You feel it come from the body in front of you. You also feel faint echoes from all of the bodies underneath you. It's almost like an echolocation. You can tell where bones are. It's just a feature. But the one in front of you, you open your eyes as you focus on this one echo and you pull it closer. And as you do, the body stiff, stuck in its death pose with the same expression that doesn't change, one of fear, one of someone who picked fight in a fight or flight experience, sits up. The body with its fingers clutched close, stiff upper body, looks over to you, Reverend. And there's a soft mist coming from its mouth between its crooked teeth. And there's just a gentle wheeze. What do you ask?
How did you die?
You get one word back. And it's as if someone with asthma has been running in humidity for an hour. It's a wheeze from broken and punctured lungs. Temple.
Temple of what?
Temple. It's the only thing it says.
Where are you from?
There's a change in the noise coming from it. And you can tell it's a sound of sadness. Like crying, but broken a little. And the voice says, a small town south of here.
Where were you headed?
Monolith. For work.
Why? What was your work?
Doesn't know how to respond.
Why would someone kill you?
I don't know. And as it says this, you feel your connection to this spirit waning a little. And it slowly lays back down backwards. And it's still once again.
What did it say?
Hold on, Tappy.
Happy mate!
The doctor looks up at you confused and he says, well, I don't rightly know of a temple anywhere near here. Do you? There are churches, but not a proper temple.
There's churches and chapels. DM, would I know? Could I make some sort of check?
Yeah, make a history check.
Unnatural 20.
You know, in the desert, far off in the desert, there is a shrine. A lot of the ranchers go there to pay their respects. You don't know what god it pertains to, but you have felt this hallowed ground out there in the desert.
And was
It's
that
not a
sort of in
temple.
the same?
It's not very
Same.
big.
Oh, go ahead.
It's just not very big. You can tell it's not a huge plot of land like would normally be of a temple, so you're not sure. You're not sure.
Yeah. Well, I'll share with the party what I discovered. But
All right.
we could either head to that shrine or we could go to the scene of the crime and see if we can determine anything there. Are the
As you
shrine
head back,
and the crime in the same direction?
the shrine is in a different direction. The crime happened towards the southeast on the road towards Monolith. And you know Monolith is quite a ways away. You're not sure exactly where this happened, but the shrine is up north somewhere in the hills. It's like between rocks in a little valley somewhere. But as you head over, we are going to take a quick 2-minute break. So if you need to pee, get some water, we'll see you in 2. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a nice break. Back into it. We left off with the Reverend going back to tell the group what he had witnessed when he spoke Speak with Dead. Now, in the meantime, we received another Bane or Boon, and I rolled, and it became a boon.
Oh.
For one, Mr. Vicky Warren, for the rest of this episode, you are able to add a +5 to insight checks, especially when made to determine if someone is lying to you. You also add for investigation checks when you are looking for illusions.
Well, thank gosh someone can see.
That's a
Good
big
balance.
number because I'm an expert in insight.
Perfect. I'm glad that the dice picked you. You're going to be able to see anything and everything.
I
So-
got everything.
Reverend, you come back to the group on the other side of the fence and you tell them what you learned. And mostly that this dead body said temple. I'm not sure what that means.
I have a question, Reverend. When you hear a dead body talk, does it sound like the dead body is like the voice of the person? Like, is it using vocal cords, or is it more like telepathy, that sort of thing? Or does it sound like the guy? I know you probably didn't know him, but like, do you know?
Well, I will
Also,
say
no.
this. I have spoken to the dead of people that I was familiar with in life. And I would say that it has an echo of their former self, but that it doesn't always sound like the way that they sounded in life. It's sort of a spiritual feeling. You hear a groan or two, but then it's almost like it's being translated for you.
Well, that sure does make the skin crawl. Thank you very much for your answer.
Anytime.
What's the best secret you ever learned from a dead body?
Well, I did learn where a few items of gold were buried from time to time again, but that's for another time. Remember when my church needed that new roof?
Yes. You got that from... What? You didn't get that from Bill, did you?
I will not confirm nor deny.
Oh my-
But we should get back to the task at hand.
Okay, temple? I don't know of any temples. Do y'all?
Maybe that's a name instead of like a structure.
It's also a place in the head. Was he struck in the temple? I don't think.
Well, he did
Vicky.
get a head wound, did he?
Vicky, can you roll me a quick history check?
Gladly. I'm going to use an advantage that we were gifted.
Mm-hmm.
16.
The name Temple rings a bell. You know you heard it once. Back in your early days, at your previous job.
That makes sense.
So you can guess what kind of company it is, but you're not sure.
The name Temple sounds familiar. Walking out of the shadows, probably kind of
Oh.
concerning.
Hello, Vicky.
Previously,
I love it when he does that.
I worked in more of a circumstance of body removal while they were still moving. The name Temple is an uncomfortably familiar one.
So it was a name. I'm good at this. What kind of job? Does that mean they were like
that dead body over there in the ground.
Yeah.
I would make about 6 of them.
Like
You'd
a
make 6
sculptor?
What did you say, Blanche?
Like a sculptor?
Yes.
Okay.
I sculpt life into death.
You're so talented.
Thank you.
Were you making constructs of some sort? Golem type situation?
You know, we've all known each other long enough. It's been, what? At least a day that I've spent with you now. Met you a little bit in time before, but that's good enough. And it's, I just have a name. I don't have like a visual for Temple, right?
No, you just know you've heard it, but you heard a lot of names back in that time, and it was usually people that you were going to work with, or people you needed to look out for, like
Yeah.
rivals.
Well, there was one thing that I was very, very good at involving my job. Who was the lady that we met earlier?
The
That everyone was,
blacksmith?
Yes.
Delphinia.
Delphinia.
Ah, Delphinia, that's right.
Delphinia
Vicky's going
Smith,
to-
the blacksmith.
Vicky's going to, as a changeling, change into Delphinia.
You suddenly see this absolutely beautiful dark-skinned woman in front of you with the pointy ears and beautiful eyes, the long plaited hair. Very alluring.
Sometimes when you need to be somewhere, you just have to look like somebody else.
You were
I can't put a
Delphinia the
name
whole
on it.
time?
I believe this is a disguise, Taffy May.
Sure, that works.
Oh my God, Vicky, you could get up to so much stuff with that.
I have, and you throw
Wait.
a mean
I
hook
believe it.
Wait a minute, that was you? Oh,
a couple times.
Vicky.
Yeah,
you know what? I'm not even mad. If you were that one guy with the mustache, you said some pretty mean stuff, but you know what? You took a right hook like a champ. You really did.
Scary as hell.
Vicky, are you into that? We'll have a conversation later.
There is so much happening right now,
Yes.
but this blowing my mind, loving it, terrified but loving it, and she just keeps getting closer and closer to you until she's literally has her hands hovering above your chest, and she just, you need to teach me that.
I'm gonna turn into you. Maybe I'll teach you that.
You're
Wait,
faced with your own face.
hold on.
Taffy May, how do you feel about looking at yourself? A perfect replica.
I'm beautiful.
Oh, can you turn around for 1 minute? Oh, okay. Oh, I need to, no, do something about that hair.
Back to Vicky.
Oh, thank you. Hey, just
So hopefully,
excuse me for one.
Temple isn't someone like me, but Temple's doing the same kind of work I did, and Temple's around. A lot more bodies are gonna show up.
Do you think they're in Dogwood?
I came here.
Well, if more bodies show up, I see that as a net gain for Mr. Reverend over here. Why don't we go to the scene of the crime and just see if there's any, I don't know, clues?
Right.
I like that idea.
Scene of the crime. Outside town, where we've all been before. Sounds normal.
Yeah, Blanche, you definitely have not been there before. Blanche has never left town.
Okay.
Wow.
Blanche, you don't worry your pretty little heart, okay? As long as you keep those snickerdoodle cookie cupcakes close to you, you will have a friend wherever you go. That's your talent.
It's true. Bess. And I go over to Bess.
And the
Also
cow has
Bess.
just been there. Like, staring into the cemetery. And Vicky, you hear a voice in your head, and just, it's a low chuckle. It doesn't say anything, it just chuckles. But you know where that voice is from.
I think we should go. I think we should. You know what? God, is this cow why I drink?
Maybe? Spooky cow is a good excuse to drink, honestly.
Actually, you know what? I hear the voice in my head. I look at the bottle. I put it away.
Might be from the drink. You never know.
That's enough.
Probably the better move.
Are you ever sober when you're around Bess?
No, but that might change.
So, Reverend, you know a vague direction. But that's about it.
Well, didn't the doc and the Undertaker give us some more detailed direction? Or
You can go
just
back and ask.
that way. I'm sorry, I thought I did, but let's go back. Let's go back and ask him real quick.
All right, so the doctor is now wiping dirt off his hands, and there is a fresh mound of dirt at the far end of the cemetery. And unfortunately, no one knew this person's name, so they just erect like 2 twigs that they've tied together into a cross figure, and someone has placed a coin. Hopefully, Joaquin will look after this body and take it to the afterlife. Although that is not really her area, it's still something that she's able to do. You go back to the doctor, and the doctor turns and looks at you and starts to put his jacket back on and pluck his shovel from the dirt. And he says, yes, sir, how can I help you?
Doc, do you have a more accurate location on where this crime took place? The burning wagon and all that?
Well, yes and no. It's kind of hard to get to. You got to go out towards Monolith. You head on that one road, the single road that is unbroken. But if you're going out towards Monolith, it would be on your left. It was on my right coming from Monolith. It's down, that area where it becomes real narrow, and it's along that cliffside about an hour out.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and you look down, and there's like the little hill you can go down if you want to just go out into the middle of godforsaken nowhere. It looked like the caravan or whatever he was in fell off the road and down there, and that's where we found him.
I told
Might
them
still
they
be
should
a
put
little
a
bit on
rail in
fire.
there, but
Hard to get to, but you can get there.
All right, well, thank you kindly, Doc.
Be careful. We still don't really know what killed him, so I'll be
Well,
careful out there.
As a member of the Watch tonight, it's my job to find out and report back to the sheriff.
I appreciate you taking it so seriously. That makes me feel better.
It's good, that's good. Well, you have a pleasant night.
Oh, Reverend, before you go, as a doctor, I don't know what it is, but in my professional opinion, something about this puts me ill at ease. Just, keep your wits out there, alright?
I'm always as sober as a judge, at least an honest judge. So, we'll be keeping our wits about us. Don't you worry about that.
Alright, Reverend. I'll see you around.
All right, Doc. So, I head back to the crew, and I let them know what I've learned. And what do y'all think? I know that spot pretty well. Vicky, you probably know that spot.
Oh, absolutely, I do.
We can make it out there, no problem. I think we should go check it out.
Deal.
And Vicky, well, I'm sure you probably do know when a grave is freshly dug, that's the best time to rob it.
Oh yes, the ground's still warm from being shifted.
And no one will be the wiser. Just one necro friend to another.
Cover Bess's ears.
Vicky,
Cover Blanche's ears.
Vicky, you hear another laugh in your head.
Reverend, may I make a small confession?
By all means.
I am almost positive that cow behind me is possessed, and it has been laughing in my ear.
Well, that's not the craziest thing I've heard in the last few days, but I'll definitely make a note of that. See if I can observe any other goings-ons from that cow there. But thank you. I'll keep an extra eye on it.
Thank you, Reverend. Gotta. And I think we're off.
All right. So the Dogwood Watch leaves Dogwood. You head on the road, and On foot, it's going to be a while. With a wagon and a horse, it is at least an hour from where the doctor said he found the body. On foot, if you make good time, might be around double that. So you pass through this road. It goes from flatlands into the hills. These gentle slopes broken up by these jagged, orangey red rocks. You hear lone coyotes echoing in the distance, crying every once in a while as they find prey. And a couple of times, a little almirage pops into your path and disappears across the road. And almirage are these tiny little jackalope-like creatures. They're little bunnies that have the single unicorn horn. And they're very common in this area. They're just lousy. They are known as pests because they do procreate quickly and in many numbers. So they are known to overrun some places. You only see a couple out here. And this road starts to go up one of the hills. These hills start to come in on either side. And eventually the hills on the left dip down into a little valley. And the road you're on becomes a road against a cliff. And you look down and you see scrub, you see all of these small flowers and larger cacti here and there. And there are many rivulets in the rock where it's easy to hide. And you see down at the bottom of this little shallow canyon the remains of a wagon. And it's slowly burning. Just embers now, but you can see the glows in the dead of night. You have pretty good moonlight from here, but it's rather obvious. What do you do?
Let's head on down there.
Yeah, maybe there's some stuff in it. Or like clues, you know.
Pretty crispy by now.
Well,
Can everybody make a perception check as you begin to work your way down on foot? There's no path, so you kind of slip and slide a little bit. It's not too steep. You can manage it, but you might slide a little fast. You got a nat 1?
I got a nat 1. I imagine I just... Whoa! Oh!
Yep, absolutely. You just go whoosh, right down. And thankfully
15.
you're not hurt, but...
No, thank God. God bless hoop skirts.
so say we all. I got an 11, so I'm scrambling.
I also got an 11, but I don't think Bess can climb down the hill, and Blanche isn't leaving town and climbing down a hill by herself. So she kind of moves away from everybody. She's like, oh, if I'm going down there, you're going down there too. And she rubs Bess's belly, and this is such overkill. Thunder steps next to the wagon.
Perfect.
Yes.
Can you describe what that looks like with you and Bess?
I rub Bess's belly, and where I'm rubbing it, it starts to glow, and then suddenly there's kind of a flash like lightning and a really loud thunderous moo, and we just kind of appear at the bottom of the hill.
Absolutely. Perfect.
And I got a 25.
A 25. All right. Also, remember you have rerolls, guys. We have 5 party rerolls. Everyone has a personal reroll, except for Vicky, who used his. But, as you're all sliding down this hill, there's this thunderous moo and the sound of a clap as suddenly Blanche and Bess are down at the wagon. And you all get there eventually, staggered one at a time. Taffy May gets there very quickly, just sliding down.
Whew.
And you're looking over what is just the remains of the wagon. There's still some embers here and there's some gentle smoke coming up from it, and there's actually a rather pleasant smell, like a wood fire. And it looks like the dusty remains of something in the back that's been burnt to a crisp. However, Reverend, almost just in time, you feel it on your back. The tip of a blade.
Oh.
And you sense the presence of someone attached to that blade. And you notice figures moving in the shadows nearby. You hear a voice in your ear, female, young, saying, "You came to the wrong wreck, sir. What are you doing out here?"
Just doing my duty as a member of the Watch.
Member of the Watch. Well, how about you watch my blade sink into your back, and we are going to roll initiative.
What a sassy young woman.
Everybody roll for me.
Oh no, I got a 9.
A 9. All right.
16 for me.
Okay.
17.
I got a 7.
A 7.
And then a 13 for Vicky.
All right.
Dang it.
Who was the 16? The Rev.
And 17 for Taffy May.
Gotcha. All right. Gotta roll some numbers real fast.
Yeah.
Boop, boop.
No.
All right. Top of the round. The voice in your ear laughs. And you feel the knife leave and return as this person stabs you in the back. But they still have to roll to hit
Whoa.
with a 16 to hit.
My armor class is luckily 17.
Whew. Well, that is a good move for you. There's a laugh from behind you as the, oh, you know what? I'm actually going to use one of my 5 rerolls that the chat has gifted me and see if this hits.
Rude chat. / thank you for the
Ooh.
support.
With a
Fair.
16 on the die.
Ooh.
23 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And this person is able to add some sneak attack damage. So, you're going to take 21 points of damage as they skeet their knife right along the side of your back and draw a cut. You feel the knife disappear as they jump back into the shadows.
So I can't even see him.
You can try on your turn. But now it is Taffy May's turn. Taffy May, what do you do?
Reverend! And I run to you, Reverend, and I take out a little bit of spray ointment. It's like in a little perfume bottle, and I spritz your back, and I cure your wounds. So
I appreciate that.
yeah, and then I sort of rub the perfume in. It's gonna sting a little bit, honey. I'm so sorry. And I sort of rub it into you, and you get the 1d8 plus 7, my dear.
Okay. Great, I get 10 if you wanted me to roll for that.
Excellent.
Yes, you're welcome to.
Anything else you'd like to do in your turn, Taffy May?
Well, I moved and I saved, so I believe that's all I can do, and I don't seem to be able to see the moving shadows.
If you'd like, as a bonus action, because you still have that left, you can make a perception check.
Yes, I can. I'll try.
You can sure try.
Try. So yeah, rubbing, and then do
Mm-hmm.
get it on a swivel to make sure there's no knife at my back.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just got a glimpse of it, and you know what? It ain't that bad looking, and I'd like it to stay that way. And that's not the worst thing ever, actually. It's a dirty 20.
With a dirty 20. Perfect.
Huh.
You notice
Dirt in my eye, dirt on the 20.
there's a figure behind the Reverend that's disappeared into the shadows. You see just the edge of like a pant leg as they disappear behind a rock. But you also hear, though you don't see, a figure up ahead coming around the side of the wagon.
Well, I hear that one, but I stare at the pant-legged one, and I spit on the ground and I yell, "Those who stay in the back are cowards!"
All right. Reverend, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to see where my attacker is, if I may.
Sure. As a bonus action, roll a perception check, see if you can find.
14.
With a 14, you don't see the figure.
But I do see the other figure,
You don't.
the one that Taffy May saw.
Mm-mm. They didn't see him. They heard him.
I'll at least move towards.
Can you make a quick survival check for me?
Okay. Oh boy. 8.
There's got to be a way to draw them out. And you think, you know what, even with an 8, I'll give it to you. You think standing too close to these rocks gives them a lot of places to hide. And over by the caravan, it's a little more open.
All right, I'll move over in that direction then.
All right. All right, Reverend. You move off, and in fact, as you begin to move, you feel your goddess, or your god, rather, the deity that you pray to.
Right.
There's a soft whisper in your ear as if they're breathing next to you. They don't say anything. But you get a boon from your god. As if they know exactly what you need, you gain a +5 to perception checks for the rest of this episode.
Nice.
Thank you, chat, for that specific boon or bane. And I chose boon or bane, boon, whatever, because I'm a merciful DM. All right, that is the Reverend's turn. You move towards the caravan. From around the edge of the caravan, a figure seems to just appear from the shadows. And it's going to try and drive its knife into Calliope's back. You notice this figure, who has stepped out now where you can see, is clothed completely head to toe. A old school bandit's mask, a low hat, red clothes. And Calliope, this is a natural 17, 24 to hit. I'm assuming that'll hit.
It's a good thing I've got a strong constitution.
They're gonna get a sneak attack as they go to stab you between 2 ribs. You're gonna take 21 points of damage.
Ooh! All
But
right.
Calliope, can you make a perception check for me?
Yes, I can.
As this person steps forward into the moonlight.
14.
The 14, you notice there's something on their lapel. You can't tell what it is because they're moving quickly, but there's some symbol or something there.
Oh, like a pin?
Something.
Do I have an opportunity to retaliate?
Do you have
Or
a reaction?
Dodge. I think I do.
It should be listed under your reactions.
Opportunity attack.
That would be if they tried to move out of your sphere, as long as they don't have something like evasion or dodge, then you would be able to attack them. But they are staying within your area, within melee range.
Oh, okay. Well then, as soon as I'm able, I would like to come out swinging, and I would like to use my special move.
All right. They laugh a little bit when they do get purchased and they draw blood. And you feel this stabbing pain in your back between 2 ribs.
I will deal with that later, and I am, it doesn't hurt so bad. I've had a lot of hooch. Okay. My fighting style is unarmed, and so I just come out swinging and kicking. And for those who have seen me fight before, it is a tornado of bustle. It is. You can't tell where the bustle is going, but it'll hit you like a ton of bricks. And so...
Well, hang on, because it's not actually your turn just yet.
Ah, shit. Okay.
She's very eager after being
so
stabbed.
mad.
This is all happening all at once. It is actually Vicky's turn. Vicky, you can very clearly see this one person. You don't know where the other one was that presumably stabbed the Reverend. What do you do?
So the one that stabbed the Reverend, if my passive perception was higher than their stealth, would I see them?
Sure, yeah.
My passive is an 18.
Let me see. Their stealth, actually, let me roll and see what they get. Yeah, actually, you notice them duck behind this large boulder, and it's on one side of the path that you guys made as you slid down. So you know where they are. You would have to move around the boulder into the shadows to get to them, but you can do it.
Could I do it with like 30 feet of movement?
Absolutely, it's not that far away.
Right,
It's like 15 feet away.
Calliope. How dare they touch the bustle? But you know what? You got this.
Thank you for your kind words, Vicky.
And I'm gonna run around to where that person is.
Uh-huh.
When I see them, I'm gonna use a bonus action to do insightful fighting. So I need to make an insight check against their deception check.
Okay.
And I have a +5
You
bonus
do.
to it, thanks to everyone. So that's a +13 to my roll.
Perfect.
Which is a nat 20. So
I'm not even gonna roll.
33.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're insightful. You are incredibly insightful right now. Thanks to that boon. Thank you, chat.
And I'm just kind of look at them. I hope you're not related to the temple. Because if so, you just introduced a legion. And I'm gonna try to take a stab.
Excellent. Ooh. So you go for a stab, and you say this over their ear, trying to pull pretty much the same thing they did with the Reverend, and you manage it. The person looks over their shoulder. You notice, much like the person that came around the wagon, that they are dressed head to toe, so that you can't see an ounce of their body. And you notice something on their lapel. Can you make a quick perception check?
Gladly.
Because you're going for a stab, but let's see if you also notice.
It's an 11.
An 11?
Yeah.
There's something shiny on their lapel. You're a little too preoccupied with exactly where to stab, because it almost becomes a medical procedure for Vicky, or Legion, as you are right now.
Right.
All right, roll to hit.
All right, and then since I beat them on the check, I also get sneak attack.
Yes, you do.
Let's add 3d6s. So that's a total of 11 points of piercing damage.
Did you roll to hit?
Oh, you're right. I did not. I should do that. Getting overzealous. 22.
A 22 will hit. All right, so they take 11 points as you stab them in the back, quite literally, and they let out a muffled grunt of pain. They're gritting their teeth, and they turn and look over their shoulder at you.
Good to be home.
Good to be home. Any bonus action you'd like to do?
That was the inquisitive thing.
Oh, right. That is correct. All right. That is Vicky's turn. Blanche, you see one figure very clearly. You can try and look for the other using your bonus action if you'd like.
The clear figure is the one that just stabbed Calliope, correct?
Sure
Okay,
is.
well, I don't like that. So Blanche is going to start aggressively giving Bessie a belly rub and going, Bessie, I wish I had something that could help Calliope. And from the friction and the glow, these glowing orbs appear on her hands, and she's going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Perfect.
At that bandit. So
and it's only like 10 feet away, because you and Calliope had gone to look at the wreck itself. You had bamfed right in front of it. So you look over, Calliope's just to your right, and the figure's right there. So you can get a shot real quick. What'd you
The
get?
lower one is a 14. Does that hit?
That will miss.
The
That's
other one is
barely.
a 20.
A 20 will hit.
Okay. And nice. Max damage. So 14 points of
Nice.
force damage, and Bess goes moo, and I deal an additional, I think, 3 points of thunder damage.
Yes.
Okay. So you shoot these eldritch blasts at this figure, boom, boom, one after the other, striking them in the chest, and they get knocked back just a little bit and stumble. And there's an extra, as this moo echoes through the canyon from Bess, there's an extra something added that sends sparks across the front of their body. Excellent.
Awesome. That is
Anything
my
else?
turn.
All right. Calliope, it is your turn. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I am injured and I am mad and I am ready to start swinging because when the bustle is a rustling, it's time for a tussling. That's what I always say. So I'm just gonna start swinging.
Perfect. What a good saying. Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
I love it. All right.
And my special move is I can do 2 attacks, I believe.
Perfect. Yeah.
So
As long as your first attack is like with a weapon, you can do a second attack with a second weapon. Yeah.
Well, I specialize in unarmed fighting, so I've got these weapons, and I've got my whatever is under my bustle that shall not be named.
Locked and loaded.
So does that mean I can still attack twice?
Yes, you can. Yeah, with both of your fists. That's
Okay,
2
great.
weapons.
Great. Okay. So there's just one, the one that stabbed me nearby.
Yeah, that's the only one you can see.
Okay.
But they are. I mean, they're within melee range, so
Okay, I would like a spinning tornado kick.
absolutely.
And I'm going to charge, which is let's see.
Does charge require you to have 30 feet in between you and the person? I think it does.
5 feet.
5 feet. Because they are within melee range, so they're right up next to you. You don't have really any distance between the 2 of you.
Okay, then I'm just gonna start just moving my body and hitting and punching. It's a cloud. It's a tornado. All right. Roll
to hit with your unarmed hit. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Is that damn it?
It'll be next to your damage. It'll say something like plus whatever to hit. You'll click that and it'll roll for you on D&D.
Bludgeoning.
D&D.
Right. Okay. So I got a wait. Oh my gosh, so much is happening on my screen. Okay, it says initiative roll 9, perception check 14, damage 5.
But roll to hit.
Roll to hit. All right, here we go. Oh shit. 10. All right.
A 10 will miss. You just
have a reroll.
swinging.
Oh, I would like to reroll.
Yeah,
I would like to
reroll.
reroll. Okay.
Go for it. Yes. We
Okay.
also still have 5 party rerolls. Just so
use
you know.
them.
Oh, 24.
Yeah.
With a 24, you will hit. You swing, but then you swing back and you hit them with the back of your hand in a fist. Do your damage.
I just had to shake it off. I had to shake that blade wound and get in the right state of mind. Okay.
Yeah, Calliope.
I hit my damage now, 6.
Okay. You hit this bandit so hard they go flying into a bush and they lay there, knocked out. Nicely done.
All right, now who was that?
On top of our 5 party rerolls, we now have 4 more. I'm gonna have these continue over to the next episode so they don't get wasted. I want you to have all the rerolls that you could possibly desire.
Can
Area
I?
rules.
Yes.
Can we walk over and see what that shiny pin on his button was?
You can begin to move. You like knocked him back about 10 feet with a powerful swing. So on your turn, for the rest of your turn, you can begin to move and go over there. Make an investigation check at the last piece of your turn.
5.
It's dark. Honestly, it's dark. All right, that is the end of your turn. Vicky, the bandit that you stabbed in the back kind of lifts himself off the knife and turns around to engage in combat with you. They're going to take a swing at you with their own weapon, which, now that you see it, looks a little bit longer than a dagger, but it's not a short sword. It has a little bit of a curve to it, too, and you've seen these weapons before. They do significant amounts of damage. That is 22 to hit.
Maybe.
Maybe? Maybe? Okay. Well, it's going to do 7. They are unable to use their sneak attack, obviously.
I'm gonna uncanny dodge just to put insult to injury. Reduce it
Okay.
half.
All right, you half the damage, and we're going to roll down. Every roll we do, if you have to do half, we're going to roll down. Me and the players. To make it fair. They laugh a little bit, and on their turn, they're going to try and dip further into the shadows. Make a perception check for me as they try and disappear in front of your very eyes around the corner.
17.
They rolled higher than that. You watch as they just disappear. Can everyone at this point roll perception to see where this figure has gone?
Excluding me because I just rolled.
Mm-hmm.
4.
15.
Calliope, you're my favorite.
I'm doing great.
4.
12.
12. Blanche, what'd you get?
I got a 15.
15.
Can
You're
I
all
roll
looking
for-
around.
Oh, yeah.
You're all looking around. You're trying to figure out where this last figure has gone. Unfortunately, they must be trained in some way because they disappear into the canyon somewhere without a sound, without a trace. And we are now dropping initiative.
Hey, Daffy May, do you have any of that cream left? I just,
yeah.
I just, don't hurry yourself. I just got a little.
No, it's okay.
scratch.
It's okay. And she comes over and she pops open a tube of lipstick and she draws on your face.
Oh. Okay, well that helped my wound
Oh,
between
that's
my
what I
ribs.
It will. I promise.
Okay.
It's a topical ointment. It's got just 1 second. Yeah.
It tingles a little bit, but it's a very lovely raspberry color, very becoming.
I will say this, I've been stabbed in the back by friends and enemies figuratively as long as I can remember, but this is the first time I've been literally stabbed in the back.
You
And
get used to it.
Grandma said not to leave the town, and I think this is why.
All right, well, at this point, you're out of initiative. There's the slowly burning bits of remains of Caravan, and there's also this figure left in the bushes that you think might be dead.
I want to look at their face.
All right, you go over and you pull the black sort of ski mask off of their face. It's a young elven woman. It looks like the jaw has been dislocated by one solid hit, and that might have been what killed her. You also notice, now that you're over there, you don't have to roll a perception, you're not in combat. There's a little silver pin on their lapel. It says TG. It looks like a coin that's been stamped somehow.
PG.
TG.
The
Temple's-
guy. Oh, Temple.
We do not mention the guy in this town.
The guy. Oh, I'm so sorry, Taffy May. No, you're right. It's not him. It's not him. Don't worry.
Not him.
Temple
Graydon.
Graydon.
No,
I
that's
pull out a pin out of my pocket that says IF, and I pulled and they fit together like two hearts. TG. Yeah.
What a weird phrase. You're gonna have to coin that. Literally.
I want to lean down, look at her, look her in the eyes, and I basically want to steal her face.
You steal her face.
brutal.
Absolutely.
Brutal.
This could come in handy.
Vicky, make a history check for me real fast as you're looking at
Aw.
that coin.
Hell. And I'm gonna use an advantage. I'm gonna use a reroll just in case, because it's.
Actually, as you're looking
Oh.
down, you hear a whisper of a voice you've never heard before.
I'll
You
hate
hear the
that.
flap of wings and a soft, but frankly kind of frightening female voice says in your ear, "Look a little closer." Gain a
do-
+5. as you get a boon from a mysterious deity.
You get me. So that's an 18.
With an 18, you remember where you heard Temple before. There's a fledgling gang of bandits, the Temple Gang, run by a man named Temple himself. They have moved up in ranks and they've become much larger, but they're known to completely raze towns to the ground. They are not to be trifled with. And if they come into your area, it's honestly better to just leave the house. A lot of people do. They clean up and move out to avoid being killed by this gang.
When things get raised downward.
So Vicky kind of just passes all that on, but there's kind of like there's a coldness in his voice rather than the fun, happy-go-lucky, nonchalant. So it just means that they have to be pacified before they do it to the town.
Are they heading to our town?
Pacified. Pacified means what I think it is, right? Right, Vic?
Yes,
It gets a little bit of...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they heading to our town right now?
Chances are they're probably going around the outskirts, seeing how much strength there is here, taking out who they can just to get a gauge for it. It's like doing a little bit of staking out. They're gauging how much we have before they run through.
Thomas.
I don't like that though.
Absolutely not. I just got back to town and I have not finished. So if those little pickles dipped in a cow pie think that they can take over my town, I don't think so.
Now we know. Now we can warn everybody.
Should we
You mean-
warn him or should we just go,
Reverend, I have to be honest. I realized you said warn everybody. I thought you said mourn everybody.
Preemptive mourning, you
Well,
know.
we'll see what happens. That comes later.
There.
Also, I am so excited to tell you all we reached our goal for this episode.
Woo.
You all notice at once as a burlap sack burns away in the back of the caravan, the moonlight hits it, and there's some kind of a shine. Something metallic.
I run.
presents?
Clappy, come on.
Okay.
Shiny. And the good kind of shiny, maybe, not like the one on a dead person.
Calliope and Taffy May head over to the back of the caravan where you see this metal glint, and you very carefully brush away the burning, ashy bits of burlap, and you see a lockbox, and the lock has melted off.
Oh.
Opening the box, you find what looks like a plain length of rope. But when the moonlight hits it, there's a shimmer to it.
Oh,
This is some kind of fancy lasso in a
Oh,
bandit
rope.
stash.
I thought it was a belt.
Wear it as a belt. I think it's cute.
Thank you. I think I might. I'm going to tie it around. How's it look?
Oh my gosh, girl, your waist is cinched to
Oh.
heaven.
You now have a beautiful shining length of rope, and it looks as if there's some golden shimmer over the top of it that makes it look like stars. Later on tonight, I'm going to tell you when to check your character sheet because you just gained a magical item, the Lasso of Stars.
So
Nice.
pretty sounding.
Mm-hmm. And on that note, as you're all standing in the canyon thinking about the Temple Gang and if they're headed to your beloved town of Dogwood, a lone coyote howls in the distance. And that's where we're going to end this episode. Thank you all so much for joining us. This was our first episode of Dogwoods and Dustbowls. I have been Rachel Seeley. I'm your DM. I'm also the DM on Girls Guts Glory. You can find me there Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Before this, I'm also on Cyberpunk Independence. And everybody else, we're going to go around again in the same order. Plug whatever you need to plug and give a little short hello, howdy do. Lisa.
I'm Lisa Penrose. You can follow me over, honestly, in all the places at Lisa Penrose. I'm not doing much more this week, but next week I'm starting to GM a 10 Candles game. Fridays over on my Twitch channel at 5 p.m. Pacific time. But this week on patreon.com/beholdher, I'm dropping the session 0. So if you want to know all the secrets right away, maybe go over there and do a follow there.
Perfect. Whitney.
I'm Whitney Moore. You can find me at Tweetney Moore tomorrow and lots of days during the week. I interview musicians over at Tower Records on their Instagram. Tomorrow I am interviewing my friend Bianca, who is fantastic, and she'll play a song for us as well. I have a newsletter that you can find if you like music recommendations and also art and comics and stuff. And also I have a film that is making the festival circuits right now, and I would really appreciate a follow. It's at Palm Swings Film. It is a supernatural queer comedy, and it's real weird, and I'm excited for y'all to see it.
Nice. Gabe.
Hi, you can find me at Gabe James Games across the internet. Next week on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to be on that Bronze Girls channel where we're starting the first episode of a long-term D&D campaign. It's going to be absolute chaos from what we've been talking about already. Other than that, I probably do too much because I'm not thinking of most of the stuff I'm doing. But if you go to Twitter, I have a schedule up of the stuff that's going on right now. So check it out.
Smart.
Jason.
Okay, well, first of all, in 2 hours, I have my Whatever You Want Wednesdays All Request show. So that's on my Twitch channel. So 2 hours from now, I have a list of about 160 songs that I know. And if you request it, I'll play it. And maybe if I even don't know it, I'll play it if I can figure it out. Beyond that, right now I'm running a campaign for GaryCon on the GaryCon Gaxmore channel every Saturday leading up to GaryCon. And that's been really fun. And I have my Monday night Miller's Music Mondays where I have a guest every Monday. Just follow my channel. I've got a new album coming out on the 26th. If you like anime, I'm currently in the anime Kuroko's Basketball on Netflix. I voice a high school basketball player because it's voice acting. What are you gonna do?
Definitely
and
high school.
My new D20 just came out from Norse Foundry. It's black metal and it glows and green. So there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's everything, at least for now. I forgot half the things too, but anyway, thank you.
Gina.
Hi, I'm Gina DeVivo. You can find me online at Pocket Gina, and on this channel, Fridays, you can watch Failed Save with some of the best, loveliest people, and it's a lot of fun. And then over on Q Times on Mondays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, if you like Star Trek, we run a really fun Star Trek game over there. And Q Times is just a lovely channel with tons of wonderful people on it. And I sometimes do craft streams for them as well with the lovely Steph Woodburn and Amy Dallin. So yeah, those are the things that I do.
Perfect. And that is our first episode. Thank you all for joining us. Love you all very much. Now giddy on out of here, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Same time, same place.
Yeehaw!
Bye-bye, y'all.
Bless your hearts.
Take care.